I'm live. I'm live. Look, it makes it look like I got like a halo. Move around. Mm, trying to figure out how to do a background, but it's just kind of freaking me out. Well, what do I have to say? I'm angry. I'm angry, angry, angry. I don't have to worry about it right now either. Oh no. Mm. Where is my thing? Mm. You know, prior to today, or is it TikTok? I don't want on TikTok. Oh, hey, mother of Vincent LePew. I came on here because I'm so mad. And then I was really mad because now I can't find what I was trying to find to share. So we can just, I'm angry. I'm angry. So um, I'm trying to find Paul O'Keefe. Let's see. Oh, there's good enough in 2020. What do you think about this is a good way to just have a conversation, huh? What do you think about what they're doing now? I mean, it's like they're going to sue everybody except for the McAlberts, except for the people that were in the house where he went inside. I'm trying to think if they feel that, yeah, he is really lowest of the low. And um, I've also heard, I don't know, or read it somewhere that was it his the GoFundMe that was gathered after he died, that Paul got that. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know who could determine it was true. The other thing that I didn't know in this entire situation is I thought that the brother-in-law, the that niece's hey, dirt in my eye. I'm just on here just because I'm so spitting mad. Um, but I thought that the niece and nephew, I did not realize their dad died from a cocaine overdose, apparently. I mean, that's what Turtle Boy said. I thought that, it was just horrible that he had gotten sick too. I mean, did he really use it for house renovation? Okay, okay. I have a few questions. I have a few questions. So I get it that some of the people still want to say that they, hold on, I need a cup of coffee. I mean, a drink. For whatever reason, there are some people that feel that Karen Reed, wow, this is weird. Sorry, guys. Or it looks weird to me. Um, there goes my brain again. It went over there. You know, Karen Reed, they're going to have a real problem with this, right? In my opinion. Did they watch a different trial than we did? I'm beginning to think they must have had to have watched a different trial because every person that got on that witness stand, if they were asked if Karen Reed appeared intoxicated, they all said no. That's number 1. Okay. That's the first thing that they need to overcome right there. How do they anticipate doing that? Did they not go to the trial? Did they not sit in that trial? Hey, Margaret. I mean, am I the only one that's wondering this? Because I know that you don't have to prove as much when you're doing these type, people when they go in for the gusto to get every penny they can. But it seems to me that if they would have been sitting in that courtroom, they'd have heard every last one of the witnesses said that Karen Reed did not appear drunk. Did not. N-O-T, Paul. If you happen to run across this, they said she was not at all. She wasn't. And so, okay, let's say that you figure out how to lie your way around it somehow, because if she wasn't drunk, as everybody says she was not, I mean, everybody, even the McAlberts, even the people, and the McAlberts didn't have a choice. They had to agree that she was not drunk because is it Kolakithis, that such cute couple? He's an attorney and she's a pharmacist. Was that I believe? Well, there's they were there. So the McAlberts didn't have a choice because there were other witnesses. If it would have been just up to them, then they might could have gotten something. But um, yeah, see, that's what I get. She bought drinks, but if you listen to somebody was I don't know if it might have been Turtle Boy. I've been all over listening to everybody because I wanted to go live so bad. I was so mad, but then I watch everybody that was live, the ones that have big audiences. I'm over there watching them. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad." But at the time that and I've got to look. I've got all kinds of stuff. I just wasn't quite ready. I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready for another shit show to happen. I'm still digging in on all the other because I decided, like I said, Beverly, she denied. She denied even asking the jurors. I mean, so I said, okay, okay. Right, they were using I think they were using each well, he had his and she had hers, but if you the timing of the receipts, I think it was, Turtle Boy that was saying it, like 4 minutes apart, some of them. Well, good Lord Almighty, was she guzzling them down? I mean, how in the world could that tiny little thing have drank that much in that amount of time and still be standing is what I wanna know. She should have been so wasted that she'd been having to be held up by people if she drank all that fast. Cause when that shit hits you, it's got you. I've been there before. We won't tell anybody, but it was back way in my younger days, but I do remember being, you know, just pounding them down thinking I'm fine, get up, and it was like, "Ooh." So, I don't think all those drinks yeah, I don't think she could either. I don't think she could. I don't know, I'm by no means an expert. I don't know anything about the disease, but it seems with as many health conditions as she does suffer from, and that's something else, you know? Do any of the medications that she takes, do any of the things that she has, just whatever they claim they came up on the blood alcohol content has a whole lot to do with all kinds of stuff going on. So, that right there, that's it. I just can't believe that they expect. Maybe she did. Maybe if it's just, I don't know how much, if it was just little shots or I don't know. I don't but okay, so let's say that, um, they're gonna try to sue the bars, both of the bars, and if you remember, one of the bartenders, I believe it was from, the waterfall bar, the one that had the band, and they sat at the high tops because let me tell you, I think it's just the elite that get the high tops because everybody wants to make sure you got a damn high top. That seems to be a major anyway, so they get this high top. Mhm. That's true. He was very frugal and she was very generous. But regardless of what the receipts say, the bartender serving them at the waterfall said she was not intoxicated. The only people that say Karen Reed went into that bar with the glass from the waterfall bar, which what difference does it make? I mean, we saw John O'Keefe leave the waterfall bar with his glass. So the one from McCarthy, where they said that she left McCarthy and brought that cup. It was just um, Jennifer McCabe and then one of her relatives, one of the other women. Um, I think it was actually was it her sister? No, yeah. I think it was Brian Albert's wife actually. Kolakifis didn't see it. There was somebody else said it, but nobody else. It was just those. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was Julie Albert. So those are the 2 people. Now, the Alberts seem to be just the McAlberts seem to cover up for each other, so we've got that, and nobody else saw it but them, kinda like her hearing her say, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." Oh, Julie Albert, yeah, Chris's wife. I get so confused. Which one is, hold on. Y'all, Nana's having some Nana moments here, or squirrel moments. Brian and Nicole? No. Yeah. It don't matter. Their names are irrelevant to me. I don't really care. Yeah, Colin's mother. So the the thing is, if they got past that, which I don't see how they can do, and everybody was, you know, doing the same thing, right? Everybody that was out drinking, they'd say 1 for 1 or whatever. So, then the O'Keefes need to actually go after the McAlberts because they were there as well, drinking right along with them. So, if you're gonna go for just because somebody was having a drink, then the McAlberts need to go along with them. And the other thing is, we just everybody's acting like he was just, like a what, a kid? The O'Keefes are I am not making light of the fact that Officer John O'Keefe lost his life. Please don't think that for 1 minute. But I also wanna say that if he is the person everyone described him to be, I don't find him doing happy jumping jacks in heaven right now. Because if he was the person that everybody says he is or was, if he had that much goodness and the belief of goodness and justice, eh, he would be sick of all of you for what you're trying to do. It wasn't his first time that he went to the Waterfall Bar or McCarthy's. I'm sure that he frequented from listening to these people. That's all them guys do is go around and drink. They all know the bars. They got it good. So if he goes and he's doing this often, and then what? What happened? Well, I've got to re-listen to the voicemail when they were trying to, show up Karen Reed and him fighting. But oh yeah, I think that the insurance companies representing the bars, they best not do anything yet because there's so much stuff out here that's going to say, first of all, this was a grown ass man. Second of all, he's a police officer. So might I just ask you, Mr. Paul O'Keefe, if Karen Reed should not have been driving that car, why didn't John? Hey, thunder, snow. Yeah, I'm mad, so I'm up here just making a fool out myself. I mean, but if you think about that, right? I mean, why did she drive the car? I mean, he's a grown man and a cop, and he could have said, "No, no, you're not driving. I'm driving." But then I remembered the call. She was going to wait for a plumber. I don't think she was planning on going because she had plumbing things. He got mouthy about that. Y'all remember? He was like, something about him and Pops could knock it out, but go ahead or, and I thought you were gonna be here all weekend. And then they want us to believe that he was kicking her out and she just wouldn't leave. Little bit confusing right there. So the problem is that they're exploiting these children at this point because they, although don't have the nephew down for receiving anything for the loss. I guess he didn't suffer like everybody else in the family did. Um, but the the sick part is having these children who, yeah, I'm sure they heard them argue, but you know what? That doesn't mean that it was over. That doesn't mean that they hated each other. Well, anybody can fight, anybody can have those problems. And the one thing that I do know is it seemed to be something that it wasn't all that uncommon. Now, why didn't she ever back into him before? I mean, right. Yeah. And then they want to blame Karen Reed for waking up the niece and panicking, and that they're saying that caused all this trauma. Well, let's just say all these judgmental people sitting around having their bonbons and thinking about how precious they are, what do they think they would have done in the same situation? No, but I mean, everybody's acting like it's supposed to be just a said deal, Her and John O'Keefe were fighting. She said the last thing that happened was they fought. Oh, it was one of them fights. It was one of them killing fights. That kind of fight, or they were just fought because they were disagreeing. And I'm sure it was because she didn't want to go to the dumbass party, and he did. I think that was the argument. After seeing all them women, I wouldn't wanna go either. There's not one of them women that I'd wanna sit and have a cup of tea with, or a cup of coffee, or a beer, or water if I was, like, dehydrated and gonna get so parched I was gonna pass out. No, I still wouldn't wanna have a drink with them. I'd have a drink with Karen Reed any day. I'd have a drink with all those common folk out there. And they're oh, yeah, they're so jealous of Karen Reed because you know what? It didn't Karen Reed, successful woman in her own right, didn't depend on a man. These other women, they got, these men. Okay, so we're gonna say, what part what I don't know how to ask the question. What I'm trying to ask is, let's see, turn on my heating pad. What is, it's on the tip of my tongue. My goodness. What is suing the bar, both bars, and suing Karen Reed? What is that? How does that help? No amount of money can make up for Officer John O'Keefe. Oh yeah, you know what? I've learned that up there just from listening to Turtle Boy and some of this stuff. Um, yeah, there's definitely definitely a difference in what's said, and the point is that yeah, she really is. She amazes me that she just holds her head up and keeps going, and I worry about the toll that this is all taking on her medically. I'm worried about her family, what they've been through. It's just, and people can, yeah, I feel very badly for the loss of Officer John O'Keefe. Of course I do. I'd love to see him get justice. And I promise you, if the evidence would have pointed to her, then I'd be up here slamming it. But the evidence points to anybody but her. Anybody but Karen Reed. Jen McCabe, even in her best sitting down with these timelines, had a problem, and that is her phone and her text messages and the times of the text messages. And the fact that Karen Reed, she was gone, and Jim McCabe's claiming she was up there right in front of that. I saw her. She left at 12:45 she pulled out of here. Mhm. Because Jim McCabe said so, right? Jim McCabe said it, so that makes it so. Well, kiss my grits. If she was on the Wi-Fi at One Meadows at 12:36, and Sweet Pea, you didn't see her at 12:45. Jeez. The thing is, had they, by some insane process of convicted Karen Reed, then I I guess then you could see the family trying to do some type of a lawsuit, but they have heard that everybody that was on that jury said she was not guilty of 1 or 3. Counts 1 or 3, not guilty. Everybody that testified said she was not drunk. So, whoever the insurance folks are for whoever they're suing, I hope they pay attention or I guess most folks nowadays when they know something's really big on the internet or if it's made national or if it's blown up, they know to check it, I'm guessing, because they'll find so much there's so many things here. So many things here that it, literally basically speechless that they think they have a case in any form or fashion. And the sad thing is, I always heard that I heard that Mr. O'Keefe actually cared a lot for Karen Reed, and I also heard he thought she was not guilty. But yet he's on that too. He's on that lawsuit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's it, Margaret. And the funny thing is they keep blaming Karen Reed's they keep blaming Karen Reed and her team somehow about how the FBI was in it just because of her. What they're not understanding is you're listening to all the backstories. No, I think what they originally were investigating led them to the investigators that were in the Karen Reed case, and that's how this is happening. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that Karen Reed and her attorneys got this can of worms going. I think that there was already a pretty bad smell in the air from that young lady that they said unalived herself and didn't. I do too. Mr. O'Keefe did not look well at all. And the sad thing is, if he truly believes that Karen Reed is innocent and they include him on this lawsuit, at what cost? No, he is. It said the father and that the children, where is it? Shoot. Let me see. Hold up let me see if I can I was trying to find it and I can't find this one. So I have to use somebody else's. I'll get back to that in a minute. I will. Y'all remind me but the one thing that I do want to bring up because I can is let's see. Which one is it? It's on hang on, let me see where I got that. I think that's on X. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if the gentleman that was hit in this accident, I wonder if he tried to sue Paul O'Keefe. And I've got to find it. I've got it somewhere. Um, I've got the whole thing somewhere to read. So, yeah, he is. I'll have to find it, but he is. So, Paul O'Keefe, 10/11 of 2020 at 19:25, which is 7:25 in the evening. 7:25 p.m. Now they're saying this. It's from speed at 24 miles an hour. O'Keefe was later bailed by Clerk Magistrate Freegault, which we've all heard. Karen Reed is the one that actually bailed him out. O'Keefe was issued a mass uniform citation in his property bag and charged with the following: OUI, liquor and serious bodily injury and neglect, operating to endanger and fail to yield the right of way. This person that did this was drinking. It was early. Some people were coming home from work and he was going home drunk. He was driving his car out there in major traffic drunk. And what he did was crippled a man for the rest of his life. And Karen Reed posted his bond. She's such a mean person, isn't she? Oh, yeah. Posted his bond. So, yeah, that's what they said. They said it was 24 miles an hour. So, this is printed October 12th of 2020. But I mean, look at that. I mean, that's a oh, ironically, look where it is, a beer and wine sign right there. So, it doesn't bother Paul O'Keefe to have crippled a man for the rest of his life. I guess Paul O'Keefe would say, "Well, at least he's alive." Yeah, I'm sure, right? I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. Small children, wife. I mean, but see, he can do this. He can do this, and that's okay. So I wonder who else besides Paul was made to pay any consequences for what happened to this man. Or are they just simply going after Karen Reed because she can? I do not know if a cop can or cannot pay bail for somebody. I honestly don't know that. And I heard that he was so mad he would not bail him out. So I don't know. But how ironic, right? He caused devastation that a man is going to have for the very rest of his life. Some man's life was changed drastically forever. His family's life. I mean, I don't know who he is, how old he was, I don't know. Doesn't matter who he was. The point is, Paul O'Keefe really thinks he has a right to sue anybody for driving under the influence? She did not kill John O'Keefe. Everything, I mean, the insurance company, all they gotta do is start watching the trial. No, from what I heard, see, I have that report somewhere, and it does say it. If I'm not mistaken, I have the whole thing. I've read it, but I don't know where I put it, so I apologize. And trying to find it right now, um, I even was looking for Turtle Boys to see if I could find it there, and I couldn't. So let me see. That's what's irritating me. I have a whole list of stuff that I can go over, but I mean, I have to be honest, I didn't see this one coming. I mean, the stuff I'm working on is simply because I mean it when I say I'm going to start from the beginning where I missed everything and I'm going to just go through it all. And I've downloaded God, I don't know how many motions, and still have to go through that. And then, but we're moving my desk out of the living room so that I don't have to just get on here when everybody else is at ready, if that makes sense. I can do it when I want. But in the meantime of me thinking that, a couple of days and I'm getting this all together and then I'm going to figure out what it is I'm going to schedule to do what day. And the next thing you know, now we got Paul O'Keefe and his family suing Karen Reed and the bars. And I really want to know if I mean, they're suing everybody. Well, why didn't they sue the McAlberts? How can anybody have sat? Oh, I did watch Microdots. Gosh, I forget whose stream I was on. They streamed it. Aw, I hope you find it. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Let me see. Is there statutes limitations on wrongful death, civil? Let me see. I can Google, y'all. I can do that. We'll figure it out. We'll solve it for them right here. For wrongful death, 3 years. Ha ha. Yep, that's exactly it. That's out of time. There we go, folks. So I guess they thought they'd just throw everything but the kitchen sink. So the date of discovery, yep, 25, you're over. Yeah, Paul should have been sued. Really should have. Thank you, Margaret. I was wondering about that and I just hadn't gone to look it up. So, I mean, I hate that Paul's wife and children would have suffered in that. However, he made that choice when he took that drink, right? And got in that vehicle and well, took those drinks and got in the vehicle. You can't type? It's okay. I can't spell. I can read when you when you can't type, I can normally read that. So that's scary, right? Aw. So, all right. So that answers it, and a lot of people were wondering that question, so yeah, 3 years. But they still have I I mean, I'm trying my best, I really am, I'm trying my best to figure out they sat I mean, I'm not literally, I'm not trying to be a smarty tush, but they sat in that courtroom. I felt like I was in a courtroom, but I was sitting here watching it, and everything that I saw, it showed that Karen Reed couldn't have done it. And what about Lucky Loughlin? What about him? There was nobody and so we got that. We got I mean, is it true? Is it true that they found some tools or think they found some tools or whatnot from the McAlberts? If so, that would be absolutely fantastic. But I don't has Turtle Boy said anything about that? I mean, there's so much I know it's funny, but I go check it with him because once he says it, then I know it's been vetted. You know, that horrible harassing dude. See, that's something else. That's something else. But the thing is why not sue everybody that was there for the simple fact that Jen McCabe let him drive? Well, she and her husband were driving too. Everybody that was there, were they all drunk? Is that I mean, but I don't think it was any different than what they do on regular weekends. It seems the kids have, what do you call them? Designated drivers, but the adults, they don't seem to do that very often. But the kids seem to do that. And, really, so they knew that the crash that's true. If they didn't, they knew during court. So yeah, I mean, and, and I mean, good Lord. Okay, so I heard somebody say that Trooper Paul would not be called if they went to court again. I could just play his ass all day because oh my god. So, all right, let's just say that they go shopping for some expert that's going to get up there and try to make the mess that they've got out there fit with some form of vehicle creating this problem. Do you think that any expert I personally don't think they could pay anybody enough to get up there and pretend uh yeah, I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, but if you listen, and y'all tell me if I'm crazy, y'all put it right there and tell me where to find it if not. But did we not sit through an entire trial and we're still waiting for Lally to tell us exactly what he thinks Karen Reed did? See? That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? Oh, hi, miss. Well, thank you. I'm just up here just rambling, looking like a fool because I'm so mad today. And I went and watched everybody. All the guys I watch. I went and looked at them. I know that damage, but in the trial that I watched, Lally never said what happened. Not really. And he let Trooper Paul talk, and I mean, oh my God. Trooper Paul was, you know, literally, I think, was it maybe not last night, a couple nights ago, literally, I wanted to laugh, and that's who I put on was Trooper Paul. I sure did. I just needed a change of mind, attitude, or something for just a little while, and I just had to. I mean, I laughed at him, but on the other hand, he appears to be rather young. And now I don't think that he's quite as young as I think he is. The older you get, the younger everybody looks. Like he at least looks like he's out of high school to me, but he looked like first I thought maybe he was in his 20s, and then I thought maybe he was in his 30s. But the yeah, see, when I go back and watch, because I'm gonna redo the trial, and I want to have it all on here. But when I go back and do that, I heard that I just missed it. I do so much watching with doing other stuff because I'm usually got an earbud in and I'm walking around chasing the baby or something. But, I heard that she giggled, and then the thing that got me was at the end, if y'all notice after Jackson was finished talking to him and said, "Shame on you, sir," and the judge was all like, "Whatever," and, you know, to take it off and how bad she and the lady next to her, they were like I was like, "Are you serious? You sit there laughing as they say the most horrific things about a female, and, what was it that there's something in there, I've gotta find that to read it, maybe just a couple pages 'cause it make me mad. Yeah. See, and then but then when Trooper Robbie, I'm confused, but, the senior song off topic, brother counsel went through Bev's reply to defense motion to dismiss. Oh, I don't think Bev, uh, even gave it a second thought, to be honest. She's too big telling you how big her britches are. She thinks she's the queen of America. Somebody needs to let her know we don't have one, and if we did, it sure as hell wouldn't be her. Marcella! Mwah! I love you, Marcella. Yeah, you don't wanna watch Nana, she being ugly right now. Well, I'm not being ugly, I'm in one of my cases, and I'm mad. I'm mad. No, I don't know if the thing is up until they pulled this where, they're trying to sue the bars and Karen Reed, I mean, my heart breaks. It breaks for any parent, no matter what the age of your child is that passes, it's gonna break, and nothing's gonna bring that back. And I want to see justice for Officer John O'Keefe, but it seems the only people that are saying they wanna see justice, they want the answers. They don't understand. If the answers were Karen Reed, No, it's not past the statute of limitations, Ms., because you have 3 years. So it happened in, January 29th of 2022. So January 29th of 2025 would be 3 years. So see, they had to file before January 29th, or they couldn't have filed. So that's why they're doing it. But it still doesn't, it doesn't explain. I mean, literally, if they were doing it for those reasons, then they would also be trying to sue the McCabe's because they were drunk too. But like I said, I mean, he's a police officer. He let Karen drive. No, and I don't even think it's about justice. That's the sad thing is it's not justice that they're worried about. It's other stuff, and that's why I say Mr. O'Keefe, man, he did not look good during that trial. He did not look good, and I worry about what this is going to do to him. And the hatred. But it goes back to when Mrs. O'Keefe said, "You just left him there?" to Karen. I mean, Karen was not his babysitter. She was his girlfriend. And to argue with the Apple Health data, that's something else. How is it that this went through the grand jury, but how many lies were told? The Apple Health data? Oh, he does. And yeah, he is not looking good at all. But the Apple Health data, when Lally tried to get up there and basically say that it was taking steps after John O'Keefe had passed, um, totally trying to throw off the accuracy of the Apple Health data, but it was being walked around in Proctor's pocket, kind of like that video that was shown of the Sally port. Well, you know, Mrs. O'Keefe has. I can understand. I can understand some people that suffer a trauma like she did with losing her daughter can become different people, and maybe that's what happened to her. But it's clear that she never cared for Karen Reed. So, and what was it that they were saying? Let me see if this is. No, that's Discovery. That's that. Yeah, the mom said, you left in there. She was mad. She was upset. And, I mean, like I say, he's a grown man. So, um, but I mean, yeah, they were all drinking the same. They were all driving. He was a police officer. He could have at any time said, call an Uber. We're not driving. I mean, come on now. Come on. Let's have a little bit. But and I'm going to say it again. I'm probably going to ask this question over and over and over. What were they going to do if Karen Reed had not woken up? You know, this plan was not originally to frame Karen Reed. It couldn't have been because they couldn't have done all that. It had to be to frame Lucky. It had to be to frame Lucky, and Lucky couldn't have fought it. He couldn't have fought it. But everybody that can disprove what, that it was anything to do with Karen Reed is, they're just yeah, that's what they were gonna do. The sad thing is, I don't know these people, and I wanna say that I have to give the benefit of the doubt to this part, which is I'm sure they didn't intend on actually killing him. However, once he was injured, why not get him help? Why rather have him die? Yeah, I mean, does anybody have that answer? Yeah, see, the thing is I ask this as well. I ask this as well because there are, and my thing is, and I guess my problem is thinking that somebody somewhere should just take it upon themselves if they have the authority to take care of it. Yeah, see, I mean, right, right. Brian Albert and the crew were prepared to leave OJ out. Yeah, until a neighbor called him. What neighbor was going to call him though? And I mean, come on, guys, come on. Police officers that work with some really bad people, and you're not gonna, you're not gonna have cameras around your house. They all have cameras. Oh, they weren't working that night. Dad gummit. Kind of like, I mean, yeah, but this one right here, every last one of them. I mean, look at all of 'em that were already, they could have started giving medical aid and attention before the ambulance ever got there. They did say, was it the medical examiner that said the hit to the back of the head? That's it. He wasn't moving anymore after that. Wherever that happened, I mean, that was it right there. That doesn't mean he would have just passed away though. If you would have gotten him to the if you had gotten him up to the hospital, it might possibly been saved. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There you go. Yeah, well, that's me right there. See, I put out a video. One of the very first ones I did was just absolute gobsmacked. Yeah, none of them did either. I'm with you, Miz. But to say that your dog, which it doesn't even have to be trained, it just has to be a dog. A dog has certain things, certain senses. There ain't no way that dog would have been quiet while some man was laying in the front yard dying. So, that makes no sense. The lights, the lights, that would have been going around. Listening to Karen read screaming. And folks, remember, she's on the outside of the car. She's on the outside of the car screaming that loud. You think a dog is not gonna get up, see what's going on, alert somebody, have a cow, keep barking at you? I mean, really? No. Mm-mm. Screaming and screaming. We heard her screaming, but they want us to believe she slept through it, right? Mm-mm. Nothing that they said makes any sense either. So, not only do they not have any evidence that was not tainted, they have no witnesses that saw what happened. Yeah, Brian and Nicole's bedroom window face. Yep, yep, right there. I mean, the night that it was a teenage kid that was hit in front of my house, and hmm, it was rough. It was hard. I had nightmares, and you know, at this age, I can't tell you if I heard the vehicle or the dog or I don't know. All I know is I was cooking. I was cooking stuff the night before Thanksgiving when that young man was laid out in front of my house. I mean, literally just in front of my house, and his helmet was 2 houses down. Mhm. And this cop wants us to believe that he didn't know. Oh, well, I guess he thinks that we'll buy that just about as good as we're gonna buy that his butt cheeks were was it answering the phone or calling the phone while he was making whoopies to his wife who was probably asleep and then least bit interested in a drunk husband. I would never. I would. Oh, I feel. Yeah, I do too. Well, I don't necessarily know if I feel that she attacked him because she was told to, but I think she attacked because of the people involved in hitting him. So, um, yeah, I mean, I just, I can't say that I feel like they did it on purpose, but once he was injured, everything after that was a choice. It was a choice to not get John O'Keefe help. It was a choice to put him out on that front lawn, and it was a choice to continue to lie about it. That's what it was, a choice. So, and this right here, Caitlin Albert was the last person to leave her parents' house that night. Caitlin Albert claims that she never took her eyes off her, either Brian Higgins, or her dad. Caitlin Albert did that. You know, I'm gonna say I'm trying to think how to say this without not like, I'm gonna tell a story. Let's see. Now that's true. That is true. She will. And what they're smart ass Lally. Last time I checked, a dog had teeth on the upper and the bottom. Well, no shit, Sherlock. See them little bitty marks? I mean, gosh, just crazy. Yep. See? Shocking. Just shocking. That's I mean, I'm just I just can't for the life of me figure out how this how the O'Keefe family they feel like this. Why are they putting themselves through this? Do do they just want to stay in misery? I mean, why are they doing this to themselves? Because this is themselves that you know instead of getting sympathy, empathy, um, the public, a lot of people are really gonna dislike them all. Oh, for what? Oh my gosh, absolutely no. And let me see. All right, let me see if I can put this in perspective. Not for y'all, because y'all get it, but maybe for the other adults that may not have any idea on what all happens when you decide to do something and it's going to involve your children. That a family member that had a difficult situation with a school district, and someone was going to help them with an address and stuff so that you know you could do whatever. Well, when I was asked, my response was I wouldn't do it. It's wrong, and I just don't think that you're going to have um, I just don't think that you're going to have a good experience if you are doing something that you know is wrong. Um, but what are your children being taught? And can you live with that's the question. Because what you're doing is having your child start lying at a very young age to get their way or have something go their way that really shouldn't have been because it wasn't the right thing to do. So the thing is the decision when you put it to them that way, they made the right decision. You know, um, and no matter how you love your parents, you shouldn't just lie to help them. If I mean, what do we teach our children? Well, I don't know I taught my children there are consequences when you know, you make a decision and you have the consequences, you know? So, I don't quite get, I just don't get where they're coming from. I mean, I wish I could understand a little bit. Just I mean, it would be like I said, it would be so different if all the evidence pointed to what Paul O'Keefe and the family are alleging. And that would make sense that they were doing a lawsuit, but it's not true. So, does anybody, I mean, can anybody figure out what in the world they're thinking? I mean, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. I love my kids, but I would not lie for them. And oh, mm-mm. Anybody that knows me in real life, they know that what I'm saying right here is true. I've had some hard decisions in life to make with mine. Tears streaming down my face making them, saying I don't have a choice. It's the right thing to do. So I no. But whoever, the sad thing is, let's say that you didn't know what was going on. Let's say you're one of these people that were testifying, like the yahoo that all of a sudden, what, 5, 6 months, a year later, whatever it was, saw a black blob in the yard. Yeah, right. But then when Lucky went by, he didn't see it. And how'd you like when they're asking about the yard, right? I really like that because it's like, I wasn't looking at the ground. I didn't say you were. I didn't ask you about the ground. You know, I mean, it was getting themselves away so bad. They just were. The McAlberts have paid their dues on the witness stand and will aim to be the next in line to run Canton. It's the mafia. It's nothing personal, just business. Yeah, well, I don't think that they've got what it takes. They've got they might try to be the loudmouths, but whatever they were gonna do, I think they're nah, I don't think the mafia wanna be having them now. I think they blew it for that too. I mean, even the mafia is probably wondering why they came up with them lies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think a little faster. In all honesty, that's part of why I don't lie. I can't think fast enough. I have enough time remembering what I actually did. If I was trying to lie, it would change every 3 seconds. When I was 9, my older cousin, myself, my mom at the beach, I caught him stealing money from cars. He said, no big deal. I went back to told mom and she ripped him a new one. That's good. Yeah, yeah. That's I love it. That is what needs to be done. And anybody hears me say that, no, I'm not for beating children, but I am for, you know, something like that. You need to have the right punishment. I didn't personally spank mine, but I was, you know, I thought of this the other day. It's so funny because I never thought of it as a kid. Never thought of it in my 20s or 30s or 40s, 50s, but I'm a good way into my 60s, and it dawned on me. When I was a kid, and you go way back, right? Lived in a little town that had one red light. Hell, I was probably a baby when they put the red light in. But I'd get in trouble. I'd do something wrong. Your neighbors could fight. Your neighbors had permission to whoop your kids. I mean, that's what everybody got whoopings back then. And some people didn't know so much of whether all the whoopings were the same for every other kid. And my mother would brag about things that she did to me, and the adults would laugh. So I'm a child and I'm hearing that and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, yeah, happens to everybody. They're all laughing about it. And then it dawned on me, not very long ago, actually. And I thought, if you adults wouldn't have been so busy laughing at her and making me think that it was okay when she said how far she could backhand me across the room, maybe one of you adults could actually help my ass, huh? So I kind of put a thought on when you're asking your kids to lie for you. You should have rights and wrongs. You should have morals. And if you go against them, it's not going to be good. It's just not. It's not going to be good. And that's what is driving me so crazy in this case is there was no investigation. What they did was not an investigation. And people get up there and they lie and they make up stories and you watched it day after day after day. But oh, Beverly wants to get up there and talk about what he had 80 witnesses. Well, let me just tell you, Beverly, if I was to take out the ones that didn't have anything to add to it, we wouldn't have been there that long. And if we could have stopped Lally from asking everybody what they drank, like I said, I'm surprised he didn't go around the room and ask everybody what size underwear they was wearing, what color. Do you have a preference? Is it a bikini or is it a boxer? Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, he asked them everything. And then you get to what they saw that night. And where were you sitting? Were you at the high top? I mean, Lally had a lot to say, but he didn't say shit about the case. Yeah, right, Margaret. Oh, mother of Vincent LePew, it's all good. My life's been very, very blessed. So that was just a short period of my life. I was gone when I was 17. And my family, my family's wonderful. So, but I don't get it. I don't. If that would have been my son, and I heard that you scraped up drops of frozen blood and put them in a red Solo cup, and then you put it in a Stop and Shop bag, and you know what? Jackson was right. Y'all saw that rag in the Sally port, right? This is something else. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Miss. I was wondering if anybody, I mean, he did. He talked all the time, but the thing is that did he ever make any points? You know, he would try to be so snarky to Yannetti or Jackson, and he sounded like a kindergartner whining because he didn't get the biggest pencil in the room, if you get my drift. Yeah, yeah, thinking he was gonna be able to play with the big boys. Well, I'm sorry, dude, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. But, and, Bev, I'll let him have that. "Give me that, give me that. Get that off the screen." I mean, Lally's up there. Did you were you gonna object? Did you have a question, Lally? I mean, she, like, spoon-fed him, didn't she? It was like I was like, "Yeah, she's bent okay." But what I don't understand is it seems like it's this huge group in the population that says, "Y'all don't have anything." And yet their little group just keeps going, "We're gonna just keep on telling the same old story." Yeah, because you can't change it, dumbass. Can y'all see Lally trying to go to court again? I bet you he could say that they had something come up and Jen McCabe's phone was actually off by 5 minutes and they didn't know it. Except we all know that'd be a lie. Kinda like Jen, "I gave my phone." "Yes, I know. I gave it to him." "Miss McCabe, how much did you delete?" "Nothing. I didn't delete anything." And then when they had the witness up on the stand asking, "Her phone had been wiped clean." But does everybody remember that her husband, some kind of computer dude, right? So they all they all thought that they were smarter. They all thought they were smarter. Oh, I'd love it too if the feds had Bev on phone calls with Morrissey. Problem is, she knows they'd never ever tap a judge's phone. They. I mean, I'd be totally embarrassed if I was any of them. I really would. There was absolutely no investigation, and that's who the O'Keefes need to be suing, actually. How stupid to go after the bar and the girl. Should be going after the McAlberts and the police. Well, right, and, but they're trying to say that, but the prosecution tried to say that she wiped that off, even though even the kids testified she didn't have access to it. Proctor had access to that ring video, the the back, the back door of it because he had his phone. Mhm. And somebody wrote that note about what time she came home, or they thought she came home, and it was gone. Oh, but they was talking about something else. I mean, you know, at some point, at what point, the people that are actually responsible for John O'Keefe's death, how many people would you like to see pay while you get off scot-free? What would make anybody actually go forward? You have all these corrupted cops, and that's what I was gonna say about, Trooper Paul, and I forgot because I got squirreled into something else. Trooper Paul sold his soul to the devil. They told him what they needed the report to be, and that's what the report was. And then when they asked how he got to that conclusion, the dumbass had no idea. I mean, I'm sorry. He he had no idea. Had no idea. You know, Robbie, I think I saw his father in court some, but it was so hit and miss. I just find it so hard to believe that his name is on that lawsuit. It's, you know, it's just so hard to believe. And what are they teaching these children? What are they teaching the niece and nephew? I don't think they're being very good examples, but no, he did not look well at all. He did not. So, folks, it's midnight and I haven't had anything to eat yet today, so I guess I best go eat my dinner and maybe the next time that I get on here I've got to figure out a background thing and I think I know what I was doing, but because my desk has been moved into my room now, so I don't need to show that to everybody. So anyway, I do still plan to go through. There's just so much, and now we've got Paul O'Keefe doing this and everything else. So we're just going to get out as much information and just keep it going. Um, you know, uh, Turtle Boy, he writes some really good articles that I find, and even though I mean, of course, he goes live with them, but I hope he didn't get mad that I go live with his articles because they're really good. So I don't know what I'll do next. I may just figure out how to situate stuff, but today I just needed to get on here and just gripe. And I appreciate y'all for coming in and listening to me because I'm just like a squirrel today. It's like that I just really, if I could just, I mean, I just can't figure it out what they think they're doing. There's all evidence points to no. So I appreciate y'all and I will see y'all later. And hopefully they don't like do anything drastic tomorrow. So I think the grandbabies are getting colds or something. We'll see you later. Y'all have a good night. Bye.